If anyone had told me that 10 years ago I would be in a wheelchair today, I would have labeled him a false prophet. Words of former President J.A Kufuor as he reminisces his days as a strong, abled man while advocating for an all-inclusive society for persons living with disability. Speaking at the maiden edition of Disability Conversation by the J.A Kufuor Foundation, the former president, who supervised the passage of the Disability Act, echoed the need for an inclusive society where all persons, including those with disability, feel safe and protected. There's more in this report.
A 2021 report by the Ghana Statistical Service, approximately 8% of the Ghanaian population live with some form of disability, with a higher prevalence among females. Supreme Court Judge Justice Gabriel Palman says despite the fine laws to protect persons living with disabilities, their conditions continue to deteriorate.
I have not personally undertaken any social investigation to determine the extent of improvement or deterioration in the conditions of persons with disability in Ghana. However, the anecdotal evidence inexhaustibly leads to the conclusion that as a nation, we are very, very far from where we ought to be with the welfare of persons with disability. If we had implemented the policies contained in our laws effectively, the general welfare of persons with disability would have been uplifted higher than what we have today.
Former President J.A Kufuor reminisced his days as a strong, abled man, saying if anyone had told him 10 years ago he would be in a wheelchair, he would have labeled him a false prophet.
If anyone had said just 10 years ago that I will today be here in a wheelchair, perhaps he would have been disputed and damned as a false prophet. But his prophecy is the reality today. I'm in a wheelchair, I cannot walk, and I need about 4, 5, 6 hefty men to be pushing me around like a baby.
The former president advocated an all-inclusive society for all, especially for persons living with disabilities.
We cannot leave any segment of our society behind. Let us appreciate our differences and our idiosyncratic inadequacies and develop the tolerance to accommodate each other as an integral part of the human race.
Some of the persons living with disability who have been able to break off the stigma and excel in their chosen fields shared their stories. Here's former Chieftaincy and Religious Affairs Minister Henry Seidu Dana.
When I was called to the bar in 1997, it was all over the news. My first time to go to court, I was wearing peep, wig, gown. Yet, as I was entering, so I was being directed to where the lawyer sat. And somebody asked, where are you taking him to? Is he a lawyer?
The Disability Convention is aimed at demystifying disability and raising awareness on the struggles with stigmatization. James Kabila Bomfe is the lead organizer of the forum.
Disability Conversations basically is about engaging in conversations about disability as a human condition, as we know it. Disability is not a taboo, but a competitive disadvantage to or for leadership in Ghana, contrary to widespread misconceptions that leadership positions taboo disability in this country.
The forum, organized by the J.A Kufuor Foundation and the Right of Youth Disability Foundation, was on the theme acceptance, inclusion and integration of disability as a difference in diversity. Prince Kwame Kudo gets report for Joy News.